Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to EX5 CSS Dentist. And I'm recording this video new since I do post a lot of older videos from last spring, since they're very time consuming to record. I also wanted to put some newer directions on there since the older videos probably will show some operations using Blackboard, which was the LMS we used to use last semester. Now we're using e-learning, which has its own challenges, but I just wanted to go over this assignment starting with e-learning. So I'm in e-learning as a student. I'll put it as student right now. So I'm seeing what you see. Now I did post announcements here, and I'm actually right now still in the middle of writing the announcements, which will be finished by the time you watch this video. Also under coursework, you'll see, if you scroll down to the EX CSS Dentist, I did open up some other assignments too, so you should be able to get to the older assignments. Under EX5 CSS Dentist, when you click on that and you come to this page, you'll see instructions here, but these are also the same instructions that are on the instructions that I posted. They should be. And the only thing that you're going to, other than looking at these instructions, the only thing you will need to do on this page is download this, or you can even click on it. What this is, if I just click on it, and it opens up in a new window. This is just a JPEG image of the finished sample. And I even have it marked with the HTML sections, body, HTML, so that that's kind of identified by the HTML that you see when you open the HTML file. So you kind of know visually what some of those sections are, other than just looking at the HTML code, because you may not be familiar with viewing HTML code. But this is the finished sample, so you could print this out, you could open it up in Acrobat Reader or any program that you would view this. So this is just a reference for you. So you might want to print this out and keep it with you as you work on the file in your HTML and as you work on your CSS file. Now you're mainly going to be working on the CSS. You're mainly going to be taking your file and making it look like this from the original HTML that you'll look at. Here's an actual live example. This is from last spring. This is a student from last spring, 2015, and this is a finished version. And you could see this version here, it's centered to a point, and then but it's still a static full, or it's still a fixed size. So it might be something like 840 or something like that. But this is going to be the real finished product. But I do have a JPEG for you to look at as well, and it's a little smaller. The JPEG you see is a little smaller, depending on how you view it, but at least it's there to identify the parts of it. So that's the only thing you have to download from your coursework. Okay, you'll also have under document resources. Let me show you a couple things here. It's not here yet, but I'll have the notes here for EX5 CSS Dentist. Instruct will be the last one in the list here for notes. So those printed notes will be there once I upload them, probably in a few minutes. So they will be here. You'll have notes here for EX5 CSS Dentist. Also, in terms of videos, it's really a pain in this new system putting videos because I have to put each one at a time. So what I decided to do, I thought this might be easier, and it might be easier for you too. I just put a section here called Videos EX5 CSS Dentist, and it's basically a link. If you click on this link, it should be a link basically to my playlist of all the videos for this exercise. So there's 8 videos here. So this is the playlist to the exercise, and it'll probably be the one I'm recording right now will be on top of this playlist, because I'm not sure, there may be some Blackboard stuff, some older stuff on here that may affect the way it starts out. So there'll be 9 here. There'll be the one I'm recording right now will be in the front of this. So the whole playlist will be here right in YouTube. I just thought that would be easier than trying to, it's even for me, copying and pasting all that stuff is such a pain, and I wanted to get it up so you could use it. So that's the way it's set up, and I'll try to do that for other exercises. So I could just make a playlist, and that way all your videos will be there, and then you don't even have to go into e-learning to watch those videos. So I'll close that up right now. So that's all you really have to do in e-learning. You'll have notes that you could print out, you'll have the link to the videos, and you also have that JPEG that you can download too. You can also download it. I didn't download it, but you could right-click on it when you see the link and download it and print it out. So you'll have that as well. Now what you're going to be doing, just to give you the beginning steps as well, is you're going to be launching CyberDuck to start. So I'm going to go launch CyberDuck. And there's my CyberDuck. And I do make, if you see all these bookmarks here, I make bookmarks for yours too, so that when you say you're having a problem in CyberDuck or whatever, I could double-click, see your directory, and see if everything's there and check things out, just like you would. So if you're having a problem uploading things or you don't think it's there, I can look at it and say, hey, there's a problem with this file name or whatever it may be. And I try to create one for myself so I can kind of go through the process and not use your folder. So this is me sample. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to double click. Now it's connected right now. I'll just disconnect it and go back. But you're going to connect on you. So if you're one of these people, you'll double click on yours and you'll probably only see that one there. So I'll double click on me. And what you'll see, you should see your web server directory. Now you should see your index. That's the one with that points to the picture of you, and it has a couple links on it so far. It has the EX3 link and the EX4 link, hopefully. And it just has that like kind of red header at the top that I created. And it has a little thumbnail view, which should be in your images folder. And the CSS is actually what makes it look the way it looks when you see your home page. So that's the one that puts it kind of in the little box with the header and your pictures over to the right. So these are the files that you're not going to change, at least right now. You'll eventually want to change that index because you're going to put another link on it to EX5. But what you're going to see in here, hopefully you're done with EX4. Hopefully you have your index, your images, and your EX4 CSS, and you're done with that. That's what you should have in there. And if you did the CSS, you'll have a CSS file. Also note that you can have multiple index.html files as long as they're in separate folders. You can just link to EX4 and it'll know to go to the index.html file. So you don't even have to put that in the link typically. So I'll close that up. And I'm assuming you have that done or you wouldn't be watching this video. And then what you're going to have here is the EX5. I'll just show you what's in it. There'll be an images folder. There's two images in here, two dentist pictures. There's a header for the dentist practice and there's a picture of the dentist himself. So that's in there already. That's in the IMG folder. And there's an index file that has most of the HTML completed already. Okay, so you're going to download, so you could work on it locally, this EX5 file, and it will already be in your directory. So you're not going to, and don't double click on anything here. Just go to, like on a Mac, I'm clicking on a Finder window, or if you're in Windows, just open a window from your Explorer and find your main directory. Here's my CSC 230W1. Here's my notes folder. Here's my upload sample. This would be your last name. And here it should mimic exactly what's here other than what's new. So the EX5 is new. I don't have it here. So I'm going to copy this from my web server over to my local computer. So that's all I'm doing. And it should be as easy as just grabbing the EX5 folder and copying it there. And there isn't a lot of stuff in it, so it shouldn't take long. So I'll close that up. So in my directory here, there's my images. And here's my index file. Now, right now it has like a Safari icon. If you double click on that, who knows where it'll open. It might open in a browser, it might open somewhere else. And also, you don't want to just open it in brackets yet. This is what I want you to do once you have it downloaded. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go into brackets, and I have something else showing here now, and you're going to go File, Open Folder. And the reason we do File, Open Folder and not just Open is we want to open up your folder so you're only seeing the stuff in the folder. Now I'm going to go to my CSC 230W1, and even if you go to your upload sample, you could select the whole upload sample folder, and you might want to do that later when you update your index page, but just for now you can actually just choose that one. That way you'll kind of isolate. You'll just see the EX5 stuff. You'll just see your image. There's your Wiesner pick or Wiesner. There's the header pick that you're going to use, and here's the HTML. Now, also, it clicks on it and it shows you the HTML, but if you want it open, usually what I'll do is I'll double click on it, then it'll say working files up here. That way it gives you a place to kind of close it, because if you don't do that, it's hard to tell, is it open, is it not open? So you're going to open this up, and then you're going to put a link in the head tag, and that's on the other video that I have, so I'm not going to repeat all that. But you're also going to make a CSS file in here. So you're in this folder, you're also going to go File, New, and you're going to make a file. You don't even have to put anything in it yet. You could put a comment here. You could asterisk. You could just put CSS file. You don't have to put that, but you could put CSS file, and then you could just do File, Save As, and make sure it gets saved in the right folder. Make sure it gets saved in your EX5 folder. It's just going to be called EX5.css. You do have to put the .css, or in Windows, I think it should do that for you, although I'm not sure. So I would just put in the .css because you typically with brackets, it needs to know what kind of file it is. So I would say in Windows, put the .css in there if it's not putting it. If you have any issue I don't know, let me know, but I'm pretty sure you got to put that in yourself because Brackets will not know what kind of file it is without that extension. So I'm going to save that in EX5, and it should go in there with that. So that's where you're going to do most of your work. Most of your work is going to be here in your EX5 folder and on your ex5.css file. Now the name you call your CSS file doesn't matter that much. This has to be indexed, and that's why there's an index in here. So you're going to put a link to your in here in the underneath the title. You could put that link rel. That's in the video for the overview one. So I'm not going to do that, but you're going to link from your index file is going to be pointing to this ex5 file. And this is where you're going to have all your CSS that's going to be used to make it look like that finished product. So when you're done, it should look like this. And remember, when you're done in Brackets, you could close up a file, close it up here. It'll still show you here. Okay, everything's here in my EX5 folder. I didn't realize that was my folder. So that's my EX5 folder. These are my files that are going to be in it: ex5.css, index.html. And then when you're done with all that, you're going to go back to Brackets, and you're going to go to your wherever you open your window to see it, and then you're just going to drag this whole EX5 folder back here, and if I drag it back here now, even though I'm not done, I could drag it there, and it says overwrite because there's already one there, and I'm going to hit continue because I do want it to overwrite, and there it is. Now I don't have anything finished in it, so it's not going to look right yet, but that's basically what you're going to do when you're done.